together over 24 African leaders and top European officials like the European Commission President, Ursula von der Leyen, the European Council President, Charles Michel, and Roberta Metsola, the head of the European Union Parliament. The central theme was Meloni's ambitious Mattei plan, named after a historical figure of Italian-African cooperation. It aims to curb illegal migration to Italy, diversify energy sources for Europe by fostering African energy exports, and establish a new, non-predatory partnership between Europe and Africa. However, the plan, initially endowed with 5.5 billion euros, received mixed reactions. While European and UN officials saw it as complementary to existing initiatives, some African leaders like the African Union Commission Chairman, Moussa Faki Mahamat, expressed concerns about prior consultation and questioned Meloni's commitment to concrete action instead of mere promises. Moussa Faki further jolted his Italian hosts with sharply worded comments. "We are not beggars" at the summit's opening in Italy's magnificent Senate chamber. Why did Faki say this? And what does his comment say about Africa's search for new partners for its future? In today's video, we will shed more light on these questions and many more. Before we dive into our topic today, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channels and ringing the bell to be notified about all our exciting future videos. The chair of the African Union Commission declared that "we are not beggars" as Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni unveiled a plan to assist African countries develop in exchange for reducing illegal immigration. Speaking at the much-anticipated Italy-Africa conference in Rome, Moussa Faki hailed Italy's overtures for a mutually beneficial deepening of relations with the African continent, but emphasized that we cannot be satisfied with mere promises that cannot be kept. He said, "Here, to be clearer, I must reiterate some previous statements and strongly underscore that Africa does not extend its hands to partners as a beggar, as asking and not offering anything. Our ambition is higher. We advocate for a paradigm shift, for a new model of partnership that charts the path towards a fairer world and therefore more relevant to building peace and prosperity through bridges of friendship and not barriers of security, perceived as barriers of hostility. Responsibility is, therefore, necessarily collective. This is the only way for our partnership to be mutually domesticated, mutually respectful, mutually beneficial. Our sincere wish is that Italy becomes more involved with us in such a spirit. This is the quintessence of the message we have come to convey," he concluded. Faki spoke after Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni unveiled her Mattei plan for Africa. Meloni's Mattei plan seeks to reshape Italy's relationship with Africa through a 5.5 billion euros investment package of loans, grants, and guarantees. Named after Enrico Mattei, the founder of the oil company Eni, who was a historical advocate for equitable Italian partnerships with Africa, the plan focuses on several key sectors, including education and training, infrastructure, healthcare, agriculture, water, and energy. Aiming to address both African development and Italian interests, it seeks to curb illegal migration through economic opportunity, diversify Europe's energy sources by supporting African exports, and foster a non-predatory partnership based on mutual respect and trust. Simply put, the Mattei plan aims to position Italy as Europe's leading energy hub while curbing migration from Africa. Meloni plans to achieve the latter by developing African economies through investments, since she has long believed that people migrating from Africa need to be helped at home, so they will not be forced to migrate in search of a better life, which is difficult to find in Europe. Critics raise concerns about the plan's reliance on fossil fuels, potential for neocolonialism, and limited initial funding, while others see it as a positive step towards partnership if implemented transparently and collaboratively with African stakeholders. "We want to write a new chapter in the history of our cooperation," Meloni said while unveiling the plan. "There has been biased storytelling in the past, saying Africa is a poor continent. This is not true. It boasts natural resources and a young population." Meloni also said the project would be based on a cooperation among equals and far from any predatory imposition or charitable stance towards Africa. Consequently, Mustafaki's statement, "We are not beggars," can be interpreted as the African Union chair simply trying to hold Maloney accountable to her promises and assert Africa's dominance in this proposed partnership. It reflects a deep-seated sentiment of African nations seeking equitable and respectful partnerships rather than patronizing aid relationships. Faki's statement likely aimed to reject any potential framing of the Mattei Plan as a purely charitable endeavor by Italy. The historical context of unequal power dynamics between Europe and Africa, with a legacy of colonialism and resource exploitation, likely influenced his reaction. By stating, "We are not beggars," Faki emphasizes that African countries are not seeking handouts, but mutually beneficial partnerships based on respect and shared interests. Beyond rejecting a subservient position, Faki's statement also underscores the value Africa brings to the table. Africa boasts a growing economy, abundant resources, and a young, dynamic population. The beggar's remark could serve as a reminder that Italy's interests in curbing migration and diversifying energy sources align with Africa's own development goals. It's a call for recognizing Africa as a capable partner, not a passive recipient of aid. Moreover, Faki's assertion can be seen as a call for Italy to be transparent, respectful, and accountable. By stating, "We are not beggars," Faki is essentially highlighting that Italy approached Africa with its development plan, not the other way around. This suggests a need for Italy to respect the autonomy and sovereignty of African nations and honor the commitments made in the partnership. Finally, by stating, "We are not beggars," Faki potentially sets the tone for future negotiations surrounding the Mattei Plan. It's a declaration of Africa's willingness to engage, but from a position of strength and self-respect. His comments fit within the broader narrative of Africa's assertive pursuit of new partnerships based on mutual understanding, equitable resource sharing, and sustainable development, moving away from an aid-based model with its inherent power imbalances. Your perspective matters. What do you make of African Union Chairperson Mustafaki telling the Italy-Africa Summit that Africans are not beggars? Share your insights and thoughts in the comments below. For continued updates on global affairs and diplomatic development,